Well, or on Friday night, the Giants threw the first punch, and it was a gut punch to the Dodgers. They tied them for first place. Well, here on Saturday, the Dodgers swung back in a big way.
Yeah, it could have easily been an 11-0 win tonight. It really looked like a laugher, but Kike comes in, and all of a sudden they've got to finish it with Bonda. That's no big deal. The news and the headline should be Clayton Kershaw. It should be Ohtani's bat is back. Teoscar's bat is back. Other guys, this was a big confidence builder, not only for Clayton to continue from his St. Louis outing, but for the offense to explode.
5 more strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw, now 12 away from 3,000 in his career. And more importantly for him, that he's going to say he got his team another win in a second straight appearance and puts them in line for a series win on Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah, it'd be great to see this on. We're going to be home for Father's Day. We're going to be watching the U.S. Open, and then we're going to be watching the Dodgers, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope they win and stay in first place alone.
And that way, everybody's going to be happy when we see you again. That's Monday when the San Diego Padres come into town. But first things first, taking care of business on Sunday.
Clayton, just 7 shutout innings from you tonight. You talked about it after your last outing that you kind of wanted to make a few adjustments, but that you were moving in the right direction. How did you find just how this one went for you?
Well, our offense is so good. I think that it's really important to get some zeros on the board early, and you can see what they do. I think if they feel the momentum, they start swinging the bats, and so from there, when you get that early lead, you just try and pound the zone as best you can. And it wasn't like amazing. There were some pitches that I backed up that they hit the ball hard at guys, but overall to be efficient, get through 7 was a good day.
Just kind of moving along with your progression, are you finding that you're getting closer and closer to where you want to be with each start?
I think now it's just kind of like everyone's a little bit different, which is probably a good thing. There's some things you do well, there's some things you do not so well. So, it's not going to be perfect, but learning how to adjust on the fly and, throw more strikes, which I'm able to do now, which is good. And, I think it's now just pitching, which is a good thing.
Even with the first couple starts, you were pretty encouraged as just what everything could be for you. Is a night like tonight kind of an example of when not everything's clicking, but things are kind of closer to where you kind of want them to be?
I don't think. Maybe it's my personality. I don't know. You never feel great about it. I think there's always things you want to have back, and but the results, ultimately at the end of the day, to win the game, that's the most important thing. So, in the moment, I can think of some pitches off the top of my head that I'd like to have back, that I'd like to throw better, but there's no restrictions physically, health-wise, which is great, and like I said, it's just kind of pitching now, which is good.
What do you think so the slider and the curveball just be better these last couple outings?
I think my slider wasn't very good today. My curveball was better though. I don't know, just a different day, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
I know 3,000 been kind of things basically all year, but just 12 away, does it make it feel more real, like it's right there?
Yeah, maybe by September I'll get there. We'll see. It's obviously a very cool thing and starting to get a little more on the forefront of the mind, but who knows how long 12 could take me at this point. It might be until August, so we'll see.
I was seeing parts of that. I think that just knowing it's a big series, I think being able to try to stay away from as many guys in the pen as we could. I think that to build on his last outing, all that stuff I think played into his mindset going into tonight. And there's just a lot better strike throwing for me. I thought the curveball was the best it's been since he's been back. And he was efficient. I mean, he worked ahead all night long and put the pressure on those guys and, found a way to get through 7 really efficiently and put us in a good spot tonight.
We've talked about the offense being a little up and down since this month of June. To see how they were able to get things going early, get the starter of the game, just kind of getting back to their true self, Shohei Ohtani showing power. How did you see them just kind of come together as a collective?
I just thought tonight we just had a really good team approach. I thought we, took walks when we needed to, ran deeper counts, and certainly slugged. But if we're walking and slugging, we're as good as anyone. And certainly Shohei, showed out tonight and had a really good night too.
Did you realize that it had been 10 games since he had last homered?
No, I didn't realize that. So he has a way of making up for things and, leveling things out. So hitting 2 homers tonight gets him, I guess, back on track.
Did it feel like it had been that long? It's obviously he's not the only cog in the offense, but a big part of it setting the tone?
Yeah, I think it seemed like a while. I think that there was a lot of chase down below, in the last 10 days. And so, tonight he got the ball up, used the big part of the field and put some good swings together. But, when he goes, it makes life a lot easier for all of us.
Skip, Kershaw said he didn't think his slider was where it needs to be tonight. What did you see from him?
I just thought he mixed well. I thought his fastball to the glove side was good. I thought he used the curveball well. I thought he and Will sequenced well to work the front to back game, which I think gave him a little bit more margin for the slider, and it might not have been as good as the last one, but that's pitching. You're not going to have your A stuff, all the time, but how do you navigate hitters when you don't? And I think today the curveball, the fastball, glove side played.
You've talked about kind of how you have to manage your expectations with Clayton differently this season. Where do you feel that he is kind of just like the potential of like where he could be this year?
I think this is, I think that there's some refinement as far as, doing whatever he wants with the slider, having the fastball command, the glove side command, the arm side when he wants it, mixing in the curveball when he needs it. That's, that's kind of the goal, I guess, but you're not going to have that every outing. But I think that the quality of strike throwing, the being able to get ahead, putting the ball in play early, being efficient, those are things that's where we need him to be going forward.
What was the conversation after 7? Was he trying to go back out there?
No, he was good. He was good. I think that that was the first time he's gotten to the 7th inning too in quite some time. So that's all he needed to give us, and did a really good job saving the pen tonight.
Obviously, that's not Kike's first job, to do what he was doing out there. How unsettling did that get after a while?
No, it was just, it's kind of, you're trying to, in a game like that, every arm, every inning, certainly in this series to help us win tomorrow. We got the Padres for 4 coming up, so all that stuff matters. And we tried to, squeeze an inning, but we had to get banned in the game. And, I still feel that it was a, 100th percentile outcome tonight as far as using one reliever, or 2 relievers actually.
If you got into a lopsided game again a couple weeks down the road, would you consider throwing Shohei in the 9th just to get his feet wet?
Probably not. I think with Shohei, it's kind of be when he does pitch, it's going to be to start the game or open a game, whatever it is.
As much as it's been 10 days without a home run, it's really not that many in the grand scheme of things. Just how good did it feel, not only to have 1 home run, but just showing power in 2 at-bats today?
久しぶりのホームランだったと思いますけども、1本ではなく2本打てたっていう中では感触的にはどうでしたか？
だいぶ長いこと打ってないなとは思ってたので、2本とも比較的ホームランでしたし、1本目はやっぱり最初の先制するという意味ではやっぱ大きい1本だったかなと思います。
It did feel like, I haven't hit a homer in a while. In terms of the context of the 2 homers, I think the first homer was more significant, just being able to score early in the game.
Yeah. Were there any adjustments that you've made just to get back to showing that power at the plate?
何か調整はしたんですか？
そうですね、比較的やっぱり構えが大事だと思っているので、そこを重点的に試合前はチェックして入りました。
Yeah, just making sure that my posture is in a good position.
How have you felt physically as you've kept ramping up as a pitcher, and how much has your daily routine changed the last couple of weeks as your pitching workload has increased?
そのリハビリが結構多めになってきている中、その体の状態っていうのは影響しているのかと。
そうです。実戦形式の練習で球数を投げるっていうのはそれだけ負荷が高いので、もちろんやらないよりやった方がなんですかね、体に返ってくる負担というのは大きいとは思いますけど、必ず通らないといけない道ではあるので、集中してどちらも調整したいなと思ってます。
the live BP is really an important part of the progression. The intensity is different, so how that feels to my body is going to be different as well, but it's something that I do have to go through to make sure that my body feels right. 二刀流っていう負荷がかかることっていうのはちょっと時間がかかることなのか、大事なことなのか、慣れるっていう意味では。
そうですね、去年は DH だけで出ましたけど、どちらかというと、2つ同時にやっていくのが、なんですかね、通常のスタイルではあるので、特にあんまり気にすることなく、復帰したら復帰したで、今まで通り、逆にそれが今まで通りだなと思って入ればいいんじゃないかなと思ってます。
I do feel like just being the two-way player that I used to be was the norm. So last year really was the abnormal year, and for me, it's about really getting back to what I used to do.
How close do you feel to being game ready as a coach?
試合に向けての準備はどのぐらい必要ですかね。
球数にもちろんよるとは思いますけど、前回の登板も強度的にも問題なかったですし、十分試合で投げれるレベルには近づいているかなと思ってます。
I think it has a lot to do with pitch counts, but with the last live BP, I felt like the intensity was there, and I felt like my stuff was game ready.
Last one, Dave said that there's a chance that you could be back on a mound before the All-Star break. Do you think that's something that's reasonable in terms of pitching in big league games before the All-Star break?
オールスター前で復帰するっていうのはありえそうな可能性ですか？
どう思いますか？
What do you think?
You tell me.
そんな感じですね。
Thanks, guys.
Something like that.
A couple questions, Japanese.
Yeah, just obviously didn't have his best stuff. Didn't strike anybody out, walk some guys. Just really didn't have it at all today. So sometimes that happens. Move on to the next. His last time out he was good, and this time just wasn't efficient. Threw more balls than strikes. Just didn't have much going on today.
It's not often you see a position player for the team that's winning in a blow. Just
Yeah.
you're kind of.
I don't run that. Yeah. So do what they do. I pitch the position player too, but I've never done it in an up game.